setting than I had ever imagined for this little get-together. My name is Jenny, for those of you who have not actually met me, but I think I've met every single one of you tonight. And this is Karen, Linda, and May, and we are named alphabetically, so that if you're ever confused about our birth order, you will know them just by knowing the alphabet. I am 29 years old, and this being the occasion of my parents' 30th birthday, you can tell that they have not had a lot of time where they were just the two of them. They were rudely disrupted by my presence quite early on. And largely because of that, we have not had the pleasure of having gatherings like this, or they at least have not, in this house very often. And I think this is the most adults that we've ever had in this house at one time, ever. But as a lot of us are spending more time away from home, it's good to have these occasions to warm the house and to bring people in and to bring noise into this house again. So I want to talk just a little bit about what we're going to do today. It will be very, very short once I shut up, because you won't even realize that it started by the time it ends. But this was an idea that I guess we had been floating around for quite a few years now. About 3 or 4 years ago, we started thinking about the fact that we had never really had an opportunity for the four of us to play together. We spent a lot of time in this house growing up playing music at the same time, but not necessarily in any way that sounded like music when you were sitting here in the living room trying to watch some TV or get your work done. And so what I did was I was floating this idea by a few of my friends, and my good roommate and good friend from college, Veronica, said, well, you should talk to my father. And one evening, after some kind of musical event, I had the great joy of meeting Vance, and that was the start of this experience. And Vance is going to say a few words about this composition, but before he does, I just want to give the caveat and introduction that this is a work in progress. There are a lot of musicians here and parents of musicians who are very talented and who have fostered great talent. But this is a work in progress, just like I am a work in progress, just like each of us is a work in progress, just like our family is a work in progress. So we're really glad. I mean, the gift of this occasion has been having the chance to practice with each other and yell at each other through this time, and we're glad that you're able to share this with us as well. So with that, I want to introduce Vance and have him say a few words.
I'm going to stay right here. I'm gonna stay right here. Well, I'm thrilled that Jenny asked me to do this, and having endured an awful lot of abuse at the hands of and mouth of my daughter, I'm thrilled that she actually recommended me as the composer of this. But I just wanted to say something about the piece itself. So I understood that it was being written to celebrate the 30th anniversary of Jenny,
so much.
Karen, Linda, and May's parents. And I know where this is all coming from, because my wife Kathy and I have 3 children ourselves, and they're all musical, and they've performed. And so, of course, it's a challenging ensemble to write for by itself, but that was good for me. I enjoyed that. The piece itself, it's called Souvenirs of a Shared Life. So you can see immediately this is relates to the event for which it was written. And of course, souvenirs, we think of souvenirs in English as trinkets, but of course, souvenir is the French word for to remember. And it's a memory piece in a way. And of course, so what I've done is I've written a piece, I've written some melodies that have different characters. There is a repeating sort of a refrain. It's what begins the piece, and it occurs in the middle, and it occurs again at the end, which is a kind of a calm in which I should say I am taking the parents' point of view in this, to reflect on the relationship that they have and that their concept of themselves and parenthood. And then there are two contrasting episodes, one of which are both kind of fast. The first one is a kind of a sense that I got, certainly with my children, taking them to music school and having to ferry them one place or another, and it's kind of crazy, and you're always in the car, and there are noises, and it's traffic, and it's, you've got a schedule, and so you'll hear that in the first one. And in the second one was a kind of bit of fun, because I'm trying to imagine all four of them practicing at the same time. So that's all I'll say about that. So this is Souvenirs.
Jenny, hold on 1 second.
She has to do me first and then she'll do you.
Oh, okay. Jenny, hold on 1 second.
I'm good.